Let's preview tonight's draft from a sports betting perspective, okay? So first pick belongs to the Pistons. All eyes are going to be on Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. He is minus 8,000 to go first overall, as he is widely seen as the most complete player in the draft. So I'm not going to ask you if he's going first, but instead, would you be willing to bet the plus 250 that he wins Rookie of the Year before he's even drafted? Jules, would you do it?
Yeah, it's really tough to bet before the draft, but there's also going to be guys. Here's the thing. Cunningham's probably not going to move because he's the only guy that we absolutely know where he's going. He's going to be on the Pistons. So the 250 will still be there. Maybe after the draft, we see a landing spot that, you're more intrigued by somebody else. So there's not many names though, because Cunningham is an elite talent. He's kind of like a Ben Simmons, a less explosive Ben Simmons with a much, much better jump shot. So I think the 250 is a good price on Cunningham. He's definitely going to be in that top three and have a chance to win the award. In terms of other guys, whoever the Raptors get at number 4, if it's a guy like Jalen Suggs, he's going to be playing on a really good team. So a Suggs plus 800 makes sense, or playing on a better team, a more, structured team than a lot of these other kids. And James Bouknight at plus 1,500, he could be in a spot, whether it's OKC, Orlando, Golden State, he could be in a spot where he's poised to win the award, and he's a very good scorer. So those are the 3 names I would look at. But yeah, tough not to like Cunningham. He's going to have a really strong chance to win Rookie of the Year.
Kenny, what do you think? Would you bet that plus 250 before he's even drafted?
I might wait, as Julian said, it might be the smart move, but it really is reminiscent of LaMelo Ball. Wow. You do have a very, very talented scorer, a guy that could just fill up the stat sheet. We saw what he did at Oklahoma State, just a daring shot taker. And it almost was shades of Trae Young in college, really, the way that he was able to take over games, minus a little bit of the chucking. I think he's going to be a very, very talented offensive player in the NBA, and that is what you want when you're looking at a guy to bet on for, offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that there's other guys in this draft, and Evan Mobley could really contribute on the glass, and maybe on defense. Some of these other names, some of these other wings are going to be great defenders, but that doesn't really help you when you're looking for Rookie of the Year. What you want is a guy that's going to, lead the rookies in scoring, have some big scoring nights. That's absolutely Cade Cunningham. So I like him. And also, to what Julian was saying, I think that Jalen Suggs, he's really good. He could end up on a good team like the Raptors, but that also means he's probably buried in the guard rotation. You look at, Jalen Green or Jalen Suggs, they could maybe wind up on the Cavaliers. And you're looking at, there's a ton of guards there. It's going to be hard to figure out, and negotiate some playing time. So I think that he's going to be locked into a bunch of minutes really early in his career, and he's got the scoring talent. I really do think that he's a deserving favorite, and I would probably take him.
Nick, are you feeling dangerous?
I don't know how dangerous it is. I don't know that this number comes down all that much, as the season wears on. I think he's going to enter the NBA season the favorite, when it gets down to mid-October. And I think it's going to be up to anyone else to steal this award from him. I mean, he's such a heavy favorite to go number 1 that's going to carry over into Rookie of the Year. And I think there's enough talent in this draft that it's going to go to the player with the best numbers. It's not going to be a year where it's like a Malcolm Brogdon Rookie of the Year, where it's like, well, I guess this guy played pretty well for a good team, so we'll just give it to him. There are enough elite contenders at the top that I don't think you have to be on a good team. And I think Cade Cunningham has such a high statistical floor that even if Detroit doesn't win any more games than it did last year, I think he could average something like, 15, 7, and 6 right away as a rookie. And, unless someone else like Jalen Green or like Evan Mobley, really blows you out of the water, I think it's Cunningham's award to lose. So, we have seen a lot of number 1 picks recently not win Rookie of the Year. In fact, Ben Simmons was the last number 1 pick to do so. Obviously, John Morant winning it over Zion, his rookie year was a big upset, but injuries were a factor there. I think if Cunningham stays healthy, he's the rightful favorite, and I would bet him at plus 250.
All right, a guy that Nick just mentioned, the second pick, a little more interesting for Houston. Shooting guard Jalen Green is the expected pick with minus 650 odds. Kenny, do you think there's any shot that the Rockets don't take Green here?
Sure. I mean, people have talked about Evan Mobley as a potential number one pick in a year where Cade Cunningham maybe wasn't in the draft, or maybe even, with Cade Cunningham in the draft. He's that good. He's that talented. And the Rockets need a big man. I that they want to just go best player available. That's probably Jalen Green, but they do have Kevin Porter Jr. and Jayshawn Tate, some, relatively young players that they brought in last year that they probably want to develop. I don't think it would be the craziest thing in the world if they took a big man here and one that's this talented when that's a huge void for them. But obviously the odds are the way they are because the bookmakers are not going to, the odds makers are not going to leave themselves vulnerable. But yeah, I think there's a chance. I think there's a reason why this isn't, minus 2,000.
All right, Nick, what do you think? Any shot the Rockets don't take Green here? Do you agree with Kenny?
I think there's an outside chance. Certainly the way that the odds have moved throughout the week and throughout the last couple of weeks, Green continues to be the heavy favorite to go number 2. But I'm a pretty big proponent of never drafting for need, especially this high in the NBA draft, especially when you're in a rebuild. You just need to get as much talent in the door as you can if you're the Houston Rockets. So I don't think you can say, well, we have Christian Wood. We can't take a big man. Christian Wood's not all that young. We still don't really know if he's part of the future. If that's what's precluding you from taking a talent like Evan Mobley, if your draft room likes him more than Jalen Green and you're not taking him because you have Christian Wood, I think that could be a pretty big mistake. With that said, I think most people view Green and Mobley as kind of on this similar second tier just below Cade Cunningham, where you can't really go wrong with either pick. If the Rockets take Mobley, it'll be a slight surprise, but they won't get killed for it. If they take Green, they certainly won't get killed for that either. So they're in a good spot. I think they do take Green. I wouldn't bet Mobley. But the book isn't shut on this quite yet.
Yeah, Jules, what's your take here?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to use they already have Christian Wood. They can't draft Mobley. Like Nick said, you 100%, when your franchise is a Pistons, Rockets, Cavs state, you're drafting the best player. That said, the odds are what they are for a reason. Jalen Green is the guy that the Rockets seem to be set on. I sure hope it's Jalen Green. I bet it at minus 300. You never feel good laying minus 300, but hey, look, now it's minus 650. They're good players. Like, I'm not going to talk down Mobley, but it seems like this is the guy for Houston. He had great workouts with them. He was seen on, was it the owner's plane? He was on somebody connected to the Rockets plane in Houston yesterday. So, it's really just about the news that we're hearing and the way that the odds are trending. So it certainly seems like Houston is set on Jalen Green. And one other thing, everybody knows Mobley because they watch college basketball, and Cunningham, and Green's kind of the lost guy here that people haven't seen in the G League. He's a really good player. He's a super athletic player. He deserves to be this high. It's not like they're reaching on an unknown Darko Milicic number 2 type of pick. So yeah, I would be pretty stunned if Green is not the pick at number 2.
All right, picking up the pace for these next couple. Let's lock in the top 3 because you can bet on the exact order. So this is a little like horse racing and betting the trifecta. You need to get the first 3 picks in the correct sequence. Nick, are you willing to bet anything outside of the top 3 of Cunningham, Green, and Mobley, which is minus 400?
It's kind of the same answer as what we just talked about. You're the only other one I would consider is flipping Mobley and Green, which pays 5-1. So not terrible odds, for the possibilities that we just discussed. I think, even if you feel like Houston's going to take Green, there's always the outside chance that somebody blows the Rockets away with a trade offer to move up for Mobley. Obviously, it doesn't matter which team takes him at 2. If that happens, you win the bet. So, I would consider maybe laying a little bit at 5-1, but it does seem like we're headed towards a Cunningham, Green, Mobley top 3.
All right, Jules, what do you think?
Yeah, I can't go against the chalk here. It was minus 250 on Wednesday afternoon, so hopefully you got it a little earlier. I see, it's enticing odds to go with anything else on the board, but I can't do it if I don't believe in it. So you're either laying the 400 or passing.
Kenny.
Yeah, I'm probably with these guys. If I'm going to take one, I'm going to go pretty crazy, and I might go like Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, and Evan Mobley, just maybe in the event that the Pistons decide to trade this pick and, they like Jalen Green. And, maybe they just, I don't know, there's a lot of things that could happen here, but that's probably what I'm thinking.
All All right, let's go to picks 4 and 5 now. Jalen Suggs is the favorite to go 4 to the Raptors at minus 250, while Scotty Barnes is minus 295 to go 5th to the Magic. Any bets at those two picks you'd lay some money on, Jules?
I'm not certain that it goes Suggs Barnes. It probably does, and that's why the odds are there. But Scotty Barnes is a huge riser in this draft. And while Suggs is the perfect Lowry replacement, if Lowry stays, Barnes now slots in there with Siakam and FVV, and you have a nice core. So, like, maybe this goes Barnes Suggs. If I did anything, I would do maybe some plus money there, unless we hear a report that says Suggs is the guy at 4. So I think these picks are kind of open. I would say more of a coin flip. 4-5 is Suggs and Barnes. That we just don't know in what order.
Kenny, it looked like your dog did protest at that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could maybe see Jalen Suggs falling to 5 at plus 275, but like these guys, I don't know if there's a ton of value here in laying down on the pick, just because I think that there is a little bit of uncertainty up front with the second and third. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I could certainly see the third pick going a couple different ways. I mean, Jalen Suggs, like, would he go number 3? Maybe. I think that, frankly, betting on Jalen Suggs to move up, and maybe, betting on Jalen or an Evan Mobley to move down might be my play. But I'm probably staying off the 4th and 5 picks.
What do you think, Nick?
Probably a stay away for me. If you're going to bet one of them, I'm with Julian. I think Suggs and Scotty Barnes go 4-5 in some order. It wouldn't shock me if Toronto, really likes Scotty Barnes and takes him there. In that case, I think Suggs for sure goes 5 to Orlando, and you're getting better money to bet Suggs going 5th than you are Barnes going 4th. So, right, if you do want to bet that, I would say Suggs at plus 275 to go number 5.
All right. Real quick on our slate approved pick time. Kenny, what is your best bet on tonight's draft?
I'm sticking with Moody to go in the top 10. Moses Moody is the guy that a lot of teams love. Minus 105 to land inside the top 10. His draft position has moved, and I would definitely get on this before it continues to move throughout the day. He's a good 3 and D wing. A lot of teams like him. He's going to go in the top 10.
Nick, slate approved.
I like both Jalen Johnson and Kai Jones to go over on their number of the 15.5 pick, I guess is the way I would phrase that.
Jules, what about you?
I love Alperen Sengun. It was under 12.5. Now it's 11.5. I still like it. I love Sharif Cooper over 20.5. It's now 23.5. I still kind of like it. Now, I guess with what's left over, I'll go Chris Duarte under 14.5. Doesn't feel great at open 20.5, but I'm hearing that Golden State at 14 is his floor. He's going to go in that 10 to 14 range. Great shooter, so let's go with that.